Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Jayo Radha Gopinath, Shri Radhe. Jayo Radhe, Jayo Shri Radhe. Jaya Jagannath, Jai Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathagami Bhavatu Me. Jaya Gauranithai, Jaya Gauranithai. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gaura Haribol, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Namo Vishwapat Paramahansa Parivrajagacharya Ashtotter Shata His Divine Grace. Abhay Chanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON founder Acharya, Bhivani founder Acharya, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Shamakunda Radhakunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Shri Vrindavan Mathura Dham Ki Jai. Shri Shri Mayapur Navadip Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Jamuna Mai Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Upasi Samvita Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. All grace to assemble devotees, Hare Krishna. All grace to assemble devotees, Hare Krishna. All grace to assemble devotees, Hare Krishna. All grace, all grace, all grace to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All grace to Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Namo Vishpadaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Welcome to the Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today we're reading from Canto 2, Chapter 5, titled The Cause of All Causes. Text number 5. Atman bhavaya setani. Atman bhavaya setani. Na prabhava vayansayam. Na prabhava vayansayam. Atma Shaktim Avastavya. Atma Shaktim Avastavya. Urna Nabhir Iva Klama. Urna Nabhir Iva Klama. Atman Bhavaya Setani. Na Prabhava Vayansvayam. Atma Shaktim Avastavya. Urna Navir Iva Klama. Atman Bhavaya Setani. Na Prabhava Vayansvayam. Atma Shaktim Avastavya. Urna Navi Iva Klamaha. Atman Bhavaya Setani. Na Prabhava Vayansvayam. Atma Shakti Avastavya. Urna Navi Iva Klamaha. Tani Na Prabhava Vayansvayam. Atma Shaktim Avastavya Urnanavi Ivaklama. Word by word translation. Atman in bracket Atmani. Atman Atmani. By self. Bhavayashe. Manifest. Thani. All those. Na. Not. Prabhavayan. Being defeated. Swayam. Yourself. Atma Shaktim. Self-sufficient. Power. Avastavya. Being employed. Urnanabhi. The spider. Eva. Like. Aklamaha. Without help. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. As the spider very easily creates the network of its cobweb and manifests its power of creation without being defeated by others, so also you yourself, by employment of your self-sufficient energy, create without any other's help. Purport. The best example of self-sufficiency is sun. The sun does not require to be illuminated by any other body. Rather, it is the sun which helps all other illuminating agents. For in the presence of the sun, no other illuminating agent becomes prominent. Narada compared the position of Brahma to the self-sufficiency of the spider, who creates its own field of activities without any other's help by employment of its own energetic creation of saliva. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurulmitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Vadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Laguratam Tam Sajivam Swadvaitam Savadutam Pariyana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Nidamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishovhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpataru Vasha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasad Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we are in this chapter where Narada Muni is inquiring from his father, Lord Brahma, about the creation of this universe and so forth, all these questions. And the chapter title is The Causes of All Causes. The cause of all causes. Sarva Karana Karanam. So, in this specific verse, it's mentioned about the self-sufficiency. So, we see that Brahma himself, he was created from the navel of the Lord. And he's the Lord is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he's the originator. He's from him everything emanates. So we saw in we see in the verse of Bhagavad Gita, Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pravartate. So everything emanates from the Lord. So in this way, like, to understand the position of the Lord, it's very important. So here Narada's inquiries is starting because he wants you to understand that, okay, his father is there, but ultimately he also wants to understand that where it's all came from. Now he is glorifying the position of Lord Brahma, and later we'll see that he will go into the glorifying. Like when he, upon his inquiry, he will find out that this is to the Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whom everything emanates. So the position of the God, it's very important for everyone to understand. And we see that in this material world also, like, it's not like, although in lots of places we forgot, like, the position of the Lord, what's the, like, what does God mean? Like, even in this simple question, if you ask people, like, okay, what is the meaning of God? So some will say, like, no idea. Some will say that, okay, someone who actually has created, or someone who is just like, mental speculation. Different people will do different things. So we don't have any specific answers in the material world. Now we see that for, like, have you seen the US dollar bill? Like, it says like what? In God we trust. Right? There is a thing there. Now that God is actually at the beginning when they were starting it means, it's supposed to mean that the generator, operator, destroyer. That is God. Right? That's how. Generator, operator, destroyer. Srishti, Sthiti, Vinash. So that's how that concept comes. But then with time it changes. Now what it is? We see in the, now, like, not now, it's probably for last few hundred years, it changes to gold, oil, and defense. That's how their economy is built on. So the thing is, with all this material energy, it's just like, shifting that understanding of the Lord. Like, what's the position of the God? So we don't have, like, we are here, we are going through Bhagavad Gita, and we are understanding that what's the position of the Lord, like, who is He? Like, we are going to deeper understanding, but we can see that in outside world, even the very simple, like, knowledge of who, like, what God is, that's also missing. So here we see, like, in this section, Narada Muni is inquiring about the Lord, about this creation. So yes, he has created, the Lord has created everything, like, aham sarvasya prabhavo, everything came from Him. All this, like, universe, the nature, like the living entities, everything. Well, what's the topmost thing? Like, what everyone is hankering for? Like, what is the topmost thing that if anyone have a taste, their life will transform in a matter of second? So that is that love for Godhead, that love, which our, like, when we see, like, with Krishna, when we dedicate ourselves, when we come to Krishna consciousness, and we start serving the Lord, and we started feeling that there is a emotion which comes of self-sufficiency, emotion which comes as, like, which is fulfillment. It's not in any other places. So that's why we go through all, like, in the span of our life, we go through different kind of relationships. And in all kind of relationships, like, with our friends, with families, everywhere we see there is some kind of, like, there is this missing link. Something is missing. Like, it doesn't give us fulfillment. Like, and because it doesn't give us fulfillment, that's what it doesn't makes us happy. We becomes happy time to time, like, little bit. But then, like, we just wanted to, everyone wants to have that continuous state of happiness. But it's not there. So why it's not there? Because obviously that love, that loving exchange that we have with the Lord, now we know that the Lord has everything in full, right? So everything, in this world. He has everything is in full. So when we have dealing with loving exchange with him, the love aspect, like which is the highest rasa, that we say, that's also flowing, and we can experience that fulfillment. But with normal human beings or anything else, it's very hard for us to get that kind of fulfillment. So from that's where we we get unhappy, we get frustrated. So we try to work it out that first of all the concept of love is also deteriorated. It's more like lust rather than love within the human beings, or living specifically mainly with the human beings. So we see that most of the time people love each other as as per their expectation, not as what that person actually is, what they really are. So that's that's where the main problem starts, because we love someone, start loving someone, we start liking someone because our expectation from that person is this. As far as that person is fulfilled that expectation, yes. And whenever that expectation is not getting fulfilled, then we are saying, nah, it's not happening. So we see that in the Eastern world, when the marriages happens, it goes through a lifespan of adjustments. Because in a husband and wife, they're going through adjustments because, whatever each one is expecting from each other, they're not getting. So, okay, let's adjust. Okay, I'll just adjust this, you adjust that. In the Western world, okay, adjustment is not happening, okay, finish. Let's end the relationship here and we move on. And then it goes on into various kind of relationship, countless, all these problems starts to come. So that's where we see that that's fulfillment, that's not there. Unless we surrender to the Lord. The process of the process to come to the Lord and surrender doesn't happen in one day. And that's what also we see in Bhagavad Gita, the examples, in the past times, that when Lord is started to giving all this knowledge to Arjun, he's understanding, okay, yes, but he's again having doubt. And then again his doubts are getting cleared. So he's going through stages. So obviously at one stage, when he reached, he said, okay, I'm your disciple. Chapter 7, he said But up to that, he was having question, answer. So there are various stages, for the surrender also. If someone just come one day and say that, first day came to the temple, just paid obeisances, yes, I'm Lord's devotee. That's it. I left everything. Yeah, sometimes it might happen. And sometimes we see that if there is a very presence of very extraordinary personality like Srila Prabhupada, things happen like that. Where just devotees just saw Srila Prabhupada or heard few of his words and their life got transformed. But how that transformation happened? Because that aspect of love, Srila Prabhupada had that love. So anyone coming, Srila Prabhupada distributes that love. And that's the very important point, because when we try to love for Krishna, that's easy. Right? We can come to the temple, we stand in front of the deities and, yes, Krishna, I love you. I can do anything for you. So yeah, but that's easy. We can express that very easily. But what is higher than that? When Lord Jesus was giving his commandments. So he was saying love thy God, love thy soul, all those things he was saying. And then at the end, someone asked that, but what is the highest commandment? And he said, love thy neighbor. So, means your love for the God, it should reciprocate through all the other, all the other people also. It's not I'm only loving the God, I'm not, I don't love anyone else. If you love the God and if you, truly, is that loving relationship, that love will flow through all others. And that's the hardest part. And we know, everyone has experience. I love Gopinath, but that devotee, okay. Or that, okay, no. Okay, Gopinath, I'm surrendered to you, but please don't ask me to do that. But that's the thing. That's the transformation part. You'll see your heart will get transformed when you see that, okay, I was feeling negativity about that person, or I was having some bad feelings about that person, but now I don't. So it goes through a neutral stage, and then it goes to a loving stage. So those kind of transformation happens, but for that also it requires, we take association of the devotees. But the first important thing is hearing and chanting. That is the first, criteria. When we start that process, then that transformation happens. And in relation to another, Srila Prabhupada's pastime, I just want to share with you that there is this, I think this from Srila Prabhupada was supposed to go to Germany. And then there was one person there. That person was he was he inherited quite a bit of money from his ancestors. He didn't have to work, so he just stayed at his home. So he couldn't, he didn't do anything. He just stayed at his home. And after some time, he becomes so lazy that he stopped taking showers. He just used to sit in one room, and then he stopped eating. He doesn't move from one place. And he used to pass all his things into his own clothes. So how disgusting is that? And he never used to get out of house or something like that. But that center was just next to his house. And and he was hearing, because before, in those days, whenever Srila Prabhupada used to go to any of the centers, 1 month before, because that's where whenever they came to know that Srila Prabhupada is coming, that used to become a festival for them. Because, hey, make sure the altar is looking nice, make sure the temple is painted, make sure all these things. So everybody was running everywhere. And that person was just sitting at a room and it's oh, what's happening? So one day he went out. The day before Srila Prabhupada was about to arrive there, he went out. And he saw that, oh, this place looking nice. And he was about to enter into the temple. And obviously you can imagine, he was so filthy. And the devotees, that person coming into the temple hall, no, not a very... So they just, no, you can't come. And they didn't let him come. So, okay, he went and he sat on the side of the street. And then when next Srila Prabhupada came, that person saw that, oh, again, so much music is happening, everyone is dancing. Again, as a human being, no matter what kind of condition you are, no matter what kind of, if you see there is some happiness somewhere which is happening in front of you, you will get involved. That's a normal tendency. We always get attracted towards happiness. So that person saw that all these persons are jumping in joy, and he said, okay. And then he also tried to go and then Srila Prabhupada went inside the temple and everyone followed him. And then he also tried to go in, and then again devotee said, no, you can't. And then this time he was adamant. He said, no, I want to go in. And devotee kind of threw him out. And then Srila Prabhupada heard the noise of what's happening, and then he came out and he saw that, okay. And Srila Prabhupada said, no, let him come. And devotees are but Prabhupada is so filthy. He's it's in the temple hall. Then Prabhupada just looked at them. He went out of the temple, went to him, embraced that person. Just imagine, these devotees, they were not even willing to go near to him. Srila Prabhupada embraced him, patted on his back and on his head. Didn't say anything, just embraced him and just smiled. And he went back to the temple. And that person, he just stands there, but after something happened. His thing completely changed. Then devotee started to see that next day he became clean. He came, he wore new dresses, and then he came into the hall, he sat down there. And then they saw that, okay, that person started to listen. That person, he started his hearing And then he started to chant. And within a span of week, he shaped up and became a full-time devotee at the temple. But like, you just imagine like how that happened. This is that love which came from Srila Prabhupada. So that's like, all of us, and all of us had that kind of fortune, some or other. Maybe we didn't, meet Srila Prabhupada, but we had some sukriti from our previous life, so that's why we are here. But now the next part is that process of hearing and chanting. That when that process, we start with that process, that actually takes us to the next phase. Yes, we have some fortune, good fortune, because of that we are sitting here. But then we have to take that responsibility and then move forward. So giving you an analogy in this sense, like suppose we have to go somewhere. So not currently, because currently everybody is closed, but suppose we need to go somewhere, right? And we said, okay, I want, for example, I want to go to India. So what we have to do first, we have to buy a ticket. We go to the website, and for various places we found a good deal, we get a ticket. We go to the airport, we check in, board the flight, everything done, and then we sit down. Now, before sitting down, we had all the choices, right? Which flight we need to take, right? What is the airline, what is my weight and everything. We had all these choices. We made our choices. Now we came into the flight and sitting down. Now we can't do anything more. Now we are surrendered to the pilot. Actually, I was seeing a very funny cartoon that day. Someone was saying that, announcing, this is your pilot speaking, I'm working from home. So, because, of the coronavirus. So, everyone is depending on the pilot. So now you can't do anything, right? You just sit in the plane for how many hours? Like if it's India, like probably 15 hours, 14 hours, we're just sitting. And you have what you can do, devotees, very, very good opportunity for whatever chanting was missed for last few days. Let's catch up, or read some books, or go through the entertainment sections, eat something. There are things that you can do. Some of the things that you can do. And then the next thing is when the plane lands. And that's also, you can't do anything. That's also the pilot makes sure the plane comes to a destination and then it lands safely. So if you take this analogy and if you think that in our life, how, for a human life, how that is connected, see the birth and death. Birth is when you get birth, right? Before in the previous life you have done all this karma, and because of that you are getting this birth, right? You came into there, so that's how you came into the flight. So you had all your tickets and you bought, you made your choices. Now you come. So now you got birth in this body, which is the plane. Now you can't do anything. You just remain in that. And the landing is the death. Which is if the plane has flown, it's supposed to come down. It will never be there forever. So your birth is happen, and then death will happen at some point of time. Now this B and D, and between what we have? No, between B and D, it's not A, it's C. So B and D, the C is choices. When you make choice. Like we have the choice what we can do in this in this span. Like as I said, some people chant, some people do this, some people do that. But but what happened most of the time, in this time when we know that we are in this confined space, although we don't like to look at this, but this is a confined, as in a very another way of saying that we are in a jail. You can't move much, you can't do much. Everything is under some kind of control that you don't understand. And we are just trying to, if someone, what happened in the plane, if someone tries to revolt No, I'm not going to stay in this place. Like, and it's very bad, man. Like, I just want to go out. Just open the door for me. And then suddenly he broke a glass. What's going to happen? The plane will going to be going down. So that's why, like, people, whenever, like, people lost their intelligence or things like that, they take abrupt decision. The life ends in that way. So there are so many things that you can't do. In that confined space, there are few things that we can do, which actually can yield a positive thing for our life. So one of the things that, while we are in Krishna consciousness, is hearing and chanting. Concentrating on hearing and chanting, that's where it actually leads us to the fulfillment of our spiritual life. Because without that, no matter whatever we are doing, like, no matter how fortunate we are, it's not like, you probably got a position because of your fortune, but you will just stay there. You will not progress. Spiritual life is not ideal. It always needs to have progression. So that's why, like, we see, if you like, with the situations, with different people have different situation. If we don't come out of the situation, of the problems, and if you just keep lamenting, it's not going to take us anywhere. Like, there are two kinds of tears, like tears. I'm sure, like, most of you probably don't have to have that experience, but there are two different kinds of tears. One is warm and one is cold. The cold tears is when someone, say that tear of joy. Like when you see something so nice, or something like, it gives you goosebumps and your tears flowing from your eyes. It's like a tears of joy. And that's usually cold. But that happens very, very, it doesn't happen very often. But most of the time what happens is a warm tear. When the warm tears are coming out, when our heart is agitated, when we are lamenting, we are hankering for something that we can't get. And that tear comes as a warm tear. What it does, it basically, if you have cried, you'll see, first, all this, comes out like rain, torrents of rain, and then your vision gets, unclear. So you can't even see properly. So, if it is a metaphor, but then you try to understand, that's what happened when someone is continuously lamenting and hankering for the material gains. That's what happened, that you don't have the vision. You're just like, oh, I want this. You get that after some day, because these are inert matter, these are material things. After some day you lost interest and then you move to some one thing. And to get that thing, you also again lamenting. So that's why, it's, we no matter what happened, we just don't get that happiness out of it. So to get that happiness, to get out, it says that for devotees, it's as they progressed in the spiritual life, it's not coming out of the problems. Sometimes they transcend the problems. So they don't have to do anything extra to coming out of a situation or problems or how can I get out. They transcend. Yeah, they are in that situation, doesn't matter. They are still there, they do their stuff, move on. But that's the transformation again, that you are transcending these phases. And then again, again, if I give that how that thing happens, if I give that analogy of aeroplane, suppose we go to the CBD now, right? Sydney CBD, and we are standing in between of the city. We see all these tall buildings, they're just on us, looking. So, oh my God, such big city and things like that. But when you are in an aeroplane, right? You fly over the city of Sydney. When you started to fly, you say, okay, I'm going up, that's good. And you can see all this, look at that building. Those which were imposing on you, right? But now you are going up, and you say, oh, look at this, they're tiny. You're going up, and then you go up, they are not even visible. So similarly, when we are in this material nature, all these things are imposing on us. And Srila Prabhupada told us, if you, chant and just chant, it will take you. Those days they're saying at the beginning, all those druggies, hippies came. What's the thing with the Hare Krishna? What is this in the Swamiji? What's in this mantra? Prabhupada says it will keep you always high. With LSD, you will take it. After 2 hours, it will come down. You chant this mantra, you'll be always high. Even also, because that time you have to understand in what context Srila Prabhupada was saying. So don't quote this thing in a different way. But they also ask that, you talk about spiritual world. What's there? Why should we try to go there? Prabhupada says there is an ocean of LSD there. And they were like, oh, what? We like to go there. But you just wanted, Srila Prabhupada is trying to bring them out from there. Just to start, when they start trying, doing the japa. Chanting. And that's what they started. And once they started, the transformation happened like that. Obviously, the presence of Srila Prabhupada had big effect on that. But that's the thing, it's when you go up high of all these material things, all those other material, the issues, problem, they just become small, and sometimes small in your mind. Don't get me wrong that physically the problem will be contracted. No, it's in your mind. The issue will get smaller in your mind. Not in actual. The problem is still there. But, if you just think, the COVID situation is still there. But different people will take it in a different way. So in your mind, yes, it's there. But, I'll just do my chanting, my reading, I'll move on. Yeah, I'll maintain all the regulation that has been told to me, yes. But, it's not like I'm feeling, if I touch this, I'll get that. If I put my feet there, I'll get the fires. No. Maintain all the regulation, what has been, instructed, do that, and then it will take you. And that's how you see that transformation happens. So when the airplane goes up, all the things become small. And then the other thing is when obviously with the hearing and chanting, one of the other pastime from Srila Prabhupada, that one time he was giving a lecture in one of the halls, right? And one person just came in front and said that, Swamiji, you say you give so much importance on this hearing and chanting, but 95% of your followers here, they're all sleeping. And Srila Prabhupada said, so what's your problem? And he was like, he thought that Prabhupada will say, it's something else. But so, what's your problem? Prabhupada said, even 5% if they hear, look what they have done to them. So you have bigger chance, okay? So you have heard me until now, so you have better chance. So don't think what others are doing. So that's why this hearing and chanting is so important. And even Srila Prabhupada actually gave that analogy for the aeroplane also. He said that as devotees, we come, most of the time, there's this thing in ISKCON that we will go and we'll attend the Sunday Bhagavatam class, right? Because people are coming from far away and things like that. But even when the Sunday Bhagavatam class, we try to hear, but it's like the sleep of the whole universe just comes to you, and you're just yes, I'm just listening. But still, it's coming. It's registering. It's just that we need to be I'm not saying that it's a good thing that you sleep, but I'm just saying that even someone trying, that's also have benefit. And Prabhupada gave a very interesting example, an analogy here. Prabhupada said that when you go into the airplane, right? What the first thing happen? The stewardess or the people in the plane, air hostess. What the first thing they do? They do show, okay, well, these are the things in the plane. If this thing happen, emergency exit is there, and then the life jacket is beneath your seat. Tell me, how many of us, seriously listen to that? Like if we are going to somewhere, we are so excited, we say, just stop it, man, start the plane. Or when we are about to come back to home, we just said, oh man, I'm so sad, just stop it, man. But imagine, if that thing happens, if something happened to the plane, you will not even know that your hand will automatically go underneath your seat to find that life jacket. So that got registered in our head. That yes. So although nobody was hearing, but still they keep saying before every flight, they will tell that. So that it will subconsciously, register in our mind. So that's how, when for a devotee, they go through the calamity, what happened? Where does the hand automatically goes? Here. Automatically goes there, and then we start chanting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, simple process. So, this is how, we'll see that, as just bringing back to this context of this purport, that once, we know who is the origin trace, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then basically, and then basically the three aspects there, to know about Him, to connect with Him, and to serve Him. Sambandha, avidya, prayojan. And that's the path that we are moving. So thank you all for listening. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nithai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Jai.